did you have a certain role that you were like, okay, I'm going to fill this. I'm going to be this for the team? What were the vibes coming in? How did you want to kind of assert yourself into the team?
Well, I think you and everyone else knew what I was going to be for this team, a shooter.
Oh, I knew. I knew.
They listed me as a shooter, so I was like, okay, I'm going to come in and shoot. Okay, no big deal. That's what I do.
Yeah. Welcome back to Sometimes I Hoop. Today, we've got a fellow Cali Hooper on the pod. Quick humble brag, McDonald's All-American, 2-time All-Pac-12, 1,000-point club member. I used to hate seeing her on the scout, but I don't have to deal with that anymore. None other than former Pac-12 rival, but now South Carolina superstar, Te-Hina Paopao. Thanks for hopping on the pod.
Wow, that was really good.
Oh, thank you. I tried. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the SEC. It's in full swing right now. Besides LSU, you guys have won all your conference games by at least 17. Like, give them a chance. But you're averaging 12 points and 4 assists, and obviously you've been dominating. But what's a game that, you guys may have blown out a team or you played great, but statistically, Dom was like, no, I don't care how much we won by, because I know she gives you those. She's like, I don't care. We're still going to get to practice. We're going to watch the film. So what was a game where, you guys may have won, but you guys didn't feel like you came out the way that you needed to?
It has to be Vanderbilt. The game when we played Vanderbilt here, and that was after the LSU game.
Okay.
And I think the LSU game just took so much emotional, physical, motion out of us. It was a really big weekend, and I think we lived up to it, but I think it just took so much out of us to where we looked really slow and lazy and lethargic, the first half coming out of Vanderbilt, because I think that's how much of a big game LSU was.
Yeah.
And I think you could tell from the outside, everyone knew how much of the LSU game took out of us, just how we played against Vanderbilt. And we felt it as a team, but we couldn't do anything about it. We just had to keep playing our game and just trust each other that we're going to pull this out.
Yeah. I mean, the LSU game was huge for a variety of reasons. But, I think we've had some other people on the podcast talk about how hard it is to play in Baton Rouge. So talk to me a little bit, especially with the addition of College Game Day. What was that atmosphere like?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy, girl.
Yeah. Yeah,
my gosh.
I bet. It looked wild.
Crazy. We get in there and the student section's already in there. We all come out. We all come out one by one.
Like for warm-ups?
Yes. All you hear is boo. I'm like, we just got here. What are you guys doing here?
I'm over here trying to do my dynamic warm-up getting booed. This is crazy.
You could feel all 13,000 fans on top of you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I ever want to go back.
Oof. So talk to me about the mindset of the locker room and how you guys were able to stay focused. And it wasn't an easy game. So what were the talks like during, but also just pregame to get you guys ready for that type of environment?
Pregame was just coach talking about how prepared we are and how much we took so much of the scout, and we just have to execute the scout and just go out there and play our game. And then the first half came, it was pretty close and a good game. And then halftime comes around and she was just like, we can beat these guys. It's us. We're beating ourselves up. We're a great team. We're doing the scout really well, but we're just beating ourselves up on the offensive end and not sharing the ball how we usually do. And that's what we have to do. We have to get back to our game and be who we are and don't lose who we are because of how the crowd is. And I know it's loud, but we just got to stick to who we are and play our game because we're beating ourselves up. And then the second half is, the rest is history.
The momentum shifted completely for you guys in that second half. So talk to me about, what do you think was there's a moment in every game that changes that. So what do you feel like maybe the shot, the defensive possession that was like, okay, we're hitting our stride. This is where we really got to kind of get going. What was that momentum shift like?
I think once we got it into Milla in the inside, we had to definitely take advantage of that, especially when we got recent foul trouble. I think that's what the momentum shifted when she got that 5th foul on Raven. And that was when we knew we had to attack the boards and attack inside, because they didn't have anything to stop Miller or a post. That was definitely the separator, and especially when Lay had a big game that day. It was just coming off the bench and knowing that she can provide a very big spark for us, and knowing that we can rely on our bench unlike other teams. And so our team can definitely play the full 40, especially with our wave of bench production.
Coming from the Pac-12, people on the outside who don't play, they talk about this difference of styles of play from West Coast kind of Southern basketball. So talk to me a little bit about that switch up of style of play from the Pac to SEC, because it is so different.
Yeah, I mean, being Cali girls, Cali's like super laid back and just like, everything comes to us and just like very chill vibes. And that's what Pac-12 is. They're just really laid back, but at the same time, really tough to play. Yeah. And it's very, very different. I mean, Pac-12 is like very methodical, very scout oriented, very, run the plays and run this and just like play within the system. And find yours within that system. And I think SEC is just super athletic and it's just go, go, go and just like crazy athleticism. I mean, they make me feel so unathletic. It's just like crazy, just the difference of style of play and the style of how different systems are. And it was an eye-opener for sure. But like we already knew that SEC was like that. And just playing the conference is just mind-blowing.
Yeah. No, it's so different. And I feel like you kind of see it, but I bet for you playing in both, it's like, it's two sides of the spectrum.
Like there's opposite.
It's complete opposite. But we talked a little bit about the talent level across the board, SEC top to bottom, Pac-12 top to bottom, the list goes on and on. But have there been any specific players that you feel like were kind of slept on, maybe last year, beginning of this season, that have really come out and surprised you and been like, oh, wow, like they're a problem. We're now circling them on the scout. They've really come into their own this season.
I'm going to have to give it to the freshies this year, man. Okay. They're difference makers. I mean, you got Juju Watkins, you got Hannah Hidalgo, you got Marquesha Fawali, who I play with. Yeah. It's just a spectrum of players that have been balling throughout each conference. It's just crazy. I think the most mind-blowing was the freshmen this year coming into college. I mean, you don't really see these type of freshmen with these type of games day in and day out. Like I've been in college, like you've seen it. Like there's no freshmen that are like built like this, and it's just crazy how each conference has their own special freshmen, and it's just crazy to watch. And I'm really excited for their journey.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, like it's not like a one-hit wonder. It's day in and day out. The same thing. There's no one-hitters. I want you to give me a little bit of like a scout or maybe what makes it so hard to try to contain these players, because I feel like it used to be, oh, force her to do this, force her to do that. But things have changed when you're playing a player like Aneesah Morrow or Hannah Hidalgo. It's more like, okay, make this hard. Okay, they're maybe not as comfortable going this way. It's a different mindset. So first name, I already mentioned it, Aneesah Morrow. Give me what it's like trying to stop somebody like that.
The main thing was just to contain her. And she wasn't shooting high percentages from the three. So we, give her a little space, give her some space, play with space. And she knocked down a couple of triples, but we'll take those. I mean, it's out of the ordinary for her to make those type of shots. So the job was just contain her and box her out. She was, that's a scout for LSU. It was just to box her out.
Yeah.
Box.
Yeah.
Box her out.
Box her
out. That was a whole message.
Hannah Hidalgo, talk to me about what it's like scouting somebody like her, on ball schemes. I'm sure you're doing a lot of different stuff with ball screens and whatnot. So what makes Hannah such a special player?
Honestly, it was just an in-game adjustment from her, because as a freshman, some freshmen, your high school game doesn't really relate to college. So we really didn't have that much scout on her. We just knew that she's shifty, she can score the ball, and we were in for a rude awakening because she did more than that. So it was
I know you have that film room.
But now we know that she's a 3-level scorer and is a very, very good defender.
Yes. Well, I mean, averaging as many steals as she is, like, what?
That is crazy.
How?
I think she has she has more steals than me than my whole career in college.
Girl, me too. It's fine. Me freaking too.
Probably combined. She probably has more steals with us
honestly,
combined.
us combined, she's still already passed. But you know what? It's cool. It's cool. Everybody has their strengths. It's fine. Yeah. But the last player we'll get into, somebody who's really come into their own this year, is Marquesha Davis. And like having a slasher like her on the wing, she's a bucket. And I like did not. I feel like she's such a new player on the rise for me.
Yeah. No, we had Breezy guard her. You know, Breezy's one of our good defenders on our team. So
yeah,
we just had to get her out of rhythm. A lot of these players are rhythm players. So we had to make her do things that she's not used to, like shooting 3-ball. She doesn't have a high percentage shooting the 3-ball. So pressure with space, but be ready for her to cut and be ready for her to attack the basket because she's really fast. So that was really our main priority, was to do things that she would do out of the ordinary and get her out of rhythm and make her shoot threes.
Back to you, superstar. We'll dive into your basketball journey. Grew up in Oceanside, California. 5 siblings, started playing ball at a young age. And at 10, you were already I know you were on the radar. As a fellow Cali girl, I'm over here hearing about this youngin' in SoCal. And I'm like, first of all, isn't she in like middle school? Why are we hearing about this 10-year-old?
Yeah.
But talk to me about playing 16U travel ball when you were just 10. Like, I might need a picture of this. I might need something, but talk to me about it.
Oh, no, girl. You don't need a picture.
No, I'm going to get the picture. I'm going to text the fam.
No, but it was interesting. I mean, growing up with siblings, older siblings, you're just used to being competitive and being tossed around like a rag doll and being, you know, the little one to be picked on. So it wasn't really nothing new playing with older people, but I knew that it would make me better as a player and as a person. So it wasn't really, you know, that big of a deal, but at the same time, it was really fun to play with older people and knowing that I can compete with these type of players and knowing that my siblings have prepared me for this.
Weak. The siblings prepare you for anything, like playing outside in the cul-de-sac. It's a lot of, it's humble beginnings. Humble beginnings.
Absolutely.
My God. For sure. And I know you went to the same high school as Kelsey Plum. And I remember hearing about how she invited you to work out with her. And KP does not invite people to work out with her. So for you to be the only kid that she allowed, knowing that you could keep up with her at that young age and even push her, what was that like, not only being able to work out with her at such a young age, but I know she's a dog. She's a competitor.
Oh my gosh.
So what was it like getting to be in the gym with her that young?
Man, I love KP. She's been an inspiration in my life ever since I met her at 10 years old. But being invited by someone like her who is such a great and amazing player, it just spoke to me how I could be a great player as well. And knowing that I have the skills and the IQ to be someone like her and play at such a high stage and such a big platform, and knowing that what I'm doing something right. And knowing that being in the gym and being in the weight room, knowing that I'm being invited by such a great player is telling me that I'm doing something right and that I should keep doing it.
Oh, for sure. I think having somebody of her status that young, like point out you, it's like, oh, snap. Like, I'm like that. I'm about to be up in this gym with you, girl. But talk to me a little bit about your recruiting process. You were number 11 ranked recruit, but also what's different is you went through your senior year of recruiting during COVID. So like, did you take visits? Did you not? What was that experience kind of like picking a school during COVID?
Honestly, I committed before COVID.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I committed my junior summer year. So I was going to play my last circuit when I committed to Oregon.
Okay.
And so I only took one visit. I thought 5 was a lot, and I don't think I wanted another visit because I think the home visit is what did it with me, because my family was surrounded with me, and then the campus visit was also like, it solidified it, and knowing that I was going to go there. So I only took one visit, and so I just was like, you know, I want to get this over with. I'm gonna commit to Oregon before my summer circuit, just have fun with it, just go out and play and be who I am. So I just wanted to do that before the whole senior thing and just focus on basketball instead of focusing on a college decision.
Well, shoot, that sounds wonderful. I took all 5 visits, so whoops. I was very indecisive. Well, talk to me a little bit about your freshman year at Oregon. It's a big jump, obviously, from high school to college, but also you're coming in behind a class that just graduated with Sabrina, Ruthie, Satu. Like, there was a lot of hype behind them. So coming in, starting freshman point guard, following up somebody like that class, did you feel any pressure moving into your freshman year or expectations to kind of uphold that standard that they had set before you guys got there?
It was a little bit of pressure, especially with the other 4 I came in with. We were the number 1 recruiting class in the nation, so it was a little bit of pressure, but it was hard as well because of COVID. I mean, as you know, we had to be isolated. We couldn't really spend time with each other as much, and we were just stuck in our apartments, and we had to just be by ourselves. But even though it was like that, it still felt very close with the freshmen. You know, I still talk to them till this day. We're still besties.
You guys had a great few next seasons, but I want to get into the transfer portal. And I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about what it's like nowadays. And there's a lot of reasons that go into it. It's for some people, they're like, oh, you know, people are like, oh, playing time this, or she's not the star, so she's going to leave. But there's a lot of things that go into it. So talk to me a little bit about, you know, what's the process like? Did you have a school in mind when you went to the portal, or did you just go in and be like, I want to find my new home and talk to a lot of different coaches?
Honestly, I entered my name in the portal, and then I think Mark got the head coaching job at TCU. And I was like, oh, done deal. Like, I'm gonna go to TCU. I'm gonna play for Mark because he's the one that recruited me to Oregon.
Yeah.
And so I really loved him and Chavi. And then they left to get the Sac State job. And so I was like, okay, I'll stay at Oregon. And then I heard he got the TCU job. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a frog. Like, absolutely. Yeah. Like, give me send the papers. Like, you don't even gotta talk to me. And then I get a call from T-Bam. She goes, hey, South Carolina wants to talk to you. What?
Oh.
South Carolina? Like Don Staley? South Carolina Gamecocks?
Me? What?
I'm like, do they have your what? Like, they want to talk to me?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, like they said they want to talk to you. Like, I'll give you the number and they want to talk to you right now.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, yeah, like send them my number. Like, I'm on the way to class. Like, I'll talk to them on the way to class.
Say, sorry, Dawn, no, not gonna answer your call. What?
Like, that's crazy. Like, who's gonna say no to Dawn?
Yeah.
The campus visit, that solidified everything. And knowing that, like, she is who she is on camera, off the court, on the court. And I think that's what got me the most, was just how authentic she is and how real she is. I mean, a lot of coaches say they're real, but they're not really real. Like, she'll say it in front of your face.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
she don't care.
Like, she's not afraid. Like, that's the type of person that I wanted to play for. Someone who will tell you the real, even though you don't want to hear it. And so I was like, sorry, Mark, you know, when South Carolina calls, you gotta go. But I gotta go to a different route. You know, all love towards you and the program, but I just felt like coaching them South Carolina was gonna be the perfect fit for me.
You pull up to a new campus, and it's kind of like a bit of freshman nerves all over again. You're the new kid on campus. You're coming into a team who's in the Final Four last year. So what was it kind of like? You know, Columbia is very different from Eugene. So what was it like, the adjustments getting there? I bet Dawn's practices are hard. Like, just all of those different things that goes into that transition. Talk to me about that adjustment period.
I think everyone was just like, are we going to be a good team? Like, what kind of team are we going to be? Because of how much we were, like, off, like, the stuff off the court. It was just like, really? Like, are we really going to do this? Like, you didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, looking back at it now and being the number 1 team in the country, we did not think we was going to be the number 1 team in the country. The way we were acting and being in practice and being in the workouts. But you know, Dawn's always going to get her team straight, no matter the deal. She's going to get them disciplined. She's going to get them right. And so, looking back at it, I think everyone's going to agree with me how how much doubt we had
The
with
growth.
each other. The growth, how much doubt we had.
Yes.
Like, are we even going to be in the top 10? Like, we're not, we're not getting down to business as we should be, but man, things have changed and our journey as a team has been a great one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, did you have a certain role that you were like, okay, I'm going to fill this. I'm going to be this for the team? Or were you just kind of coming in like, I want to make an impact in any way I can? What were the vibes? Because it's also your senior year. So what were the vibes coming in? How did you want to kind of assert yourself into the team?
Well, I think you and everyone else knew what I was going to be for this team, a shooter.
Oh, I knew. I knew.
They listed me as a shooter. So I was like, okay, I'm going to come in and shoot. Okay, no big deal. That's what I do.
Okay.
But I just wanted to come in and make an impact, immediate impact, a leadership impact. And I knew that they was going to need my, being a veteran and being on a college stage for the past 4 years. I knew they was going to need that type of leadership coming in and seniority. I've been in it for quite a while. I kind of know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I could also learn from young players and knowing that I can be this leader that they can turn to and know that that I could lead and be the player that I know I could be and be that missing piece that they needed, that they've been needed. Yeah. So it was kind of a refreshing start.
Yeah. And I think that makes the best type of leader, is somebody who is so experienced and so wise, but at the same time, you're humble enough to still learn from the younger players, because you can always learn. But so people like, you talked about Camilla, you got Ashlyn, Raven, Chloe, Sanai, like the list just goes on and on and on. Talk to me about, beyond the talent, it's what makes you guys so great, in my opinion, is that everybody buys into their role, right? It's going to be somebody's night every night. And you guys are always so hyped up. Like, even when you're on the sideline and somebody's going crazy, I see you getting lit. So talk to me about just like the chemistry of being on a team like that with all these different superstars who are able to buy into their role for the greater good. How fun is it to be in a locker room like that?
Man, it's so fun. I mean, as you can tell on the court, we just genuinely love each other. And I think that's what also separates from other teams, is how close we are with each other and how much we actually love each other and how everyone just bought in to winning. I think a lot of people get, into the individual stats and scoring this and, how many assists did I get this game, or how many rebounds and how many points did I score. But I think what separates us as well is just how everyone just wants to win. No matter how we get there, everyone just wants to win. And that's how they keep the main thing, and that's to win. No one's going to remember how many points you scored against this team or like that.
Exactly.
And everyone's going to remember the undefeated team, or like the team that like went all the way because of how they were dominating teams. It's just crazy to think how people just think about individual stats and like they just want to score this many points, when at the end of the game, it matters if you win or lose.
Yeah. Like, if I have like 50 points and I lose, I don't care. I lost. Like, I want to win. That's the main thing. And I think you said that so beautifully. But turning it back to you individually, talk to me about where you feel you've had the most growth in your game moving to South Carolina. I've heard you talk about defense improving, but tell me about what is like that thing where you're like, yeah, like I can really see a growth area in myself in this.
As you said, defense. I think everyone knows. Yep. Yeah. The pack, you don't really, need to move your puppies really well. So I say defense. And just picking good shots. I think that's what has grown my game a lot. And putting people in a position where they could score easily. And then another one is patience. Definitely patience on the court. I'm still learning how a lot of these young kids don't have the IQ as much as I do. And so I have to be directive. I have to use my voice and direct them to roll. I got to tell them, roll. You got to roll. You got to roll. Or you got to be like, go to a corner, spacing. Or like, hey, 2-man game, do this, do that. So I've been seeing a lot of that grow in my game. So I'm going to have to say those things.
Well, those are all great things. Those are all great things. And just my opportunity to give you some flowers right now. I feel like we first met at USA Trials, and I remember just clicking, and like, we are very different people today, but back then, just a bunch of high energy weirdos. Yeah. But like, seeing you now and the growth and just like being a fan of yours genuinely, not only on the court, but just as a person. And like, you're the best 3-point percent in the NCAA right now. Seeing, you overcoming and battling injuries and every single time coming back stronger than you were before, I think is so special. And like hearing that you're a vet on a team now, running the show.
That's why she's so old.
Like, you're over here bossing around kids. That's crazy. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. Some guests have not understood the rapid fire part. So I hope that you're going to do great. You're going to do great, I believe. Starting off, we're going to do what's the drill that you never want to see on the practice plan?
Wing to wing. Oh my gosh, I hate wing to wing.
Aaliyah told us about this last year. It sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Okay, well, good. Okay, next one. Game-winning shot or game-winning steal?
Game-winning shot, absolutely.
Okay, group TikTok or solo TikTok?
Group TikTok.
I was going to say, you going to say solo?
Solo, because you got to...
Solo dolo.
Yeah. You can't be teaching them and waiting for them to learn TikToks.
Exactly, like pick it up. I get so frustrated. Pick it up. Okay, who's the biggest trash talker? It could be on your team or somebody else that you played against.
Oh my gosh, Ashlyn. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes. Oh my gosh, girl.
Okay.
It's crazy. Especially when she's mad.
I'm going to look out for it.
You don't want none of that.
None of that. Okay, next question. Biggest flopper. Same principle. It could be on your team or somebody else.
Oh, Breezy's going to hate me, but I got to go Bree Hall.
Is she?
Bree Hall. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Everybody, you need to sell it every now and then.
Haley. Oh my gosh.
It's okay. It's okay. And you know what? She's probably a great actress. She'll still get the call. She deserves it. What's your biggest basketball ick?
When practice players do abnormal things. Like, girl, you're going too fast. Like, practice players be pissing me off. Like, it's absolutely like when they don't do their job. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you going fast when we're just going like 50%? Like,
especially during scout. What are we doing?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I'm like, bro. And then the coaches get mad at you, and it's like, bro, well, he's going like 100 while I'm going like 30%. Like, bro, give me a break. Come on now.
That's a good one.
And then another one is charges. Why do we need charges in our game? You took out the restricted circle. What is a restricted circle there for? If you're like, take out the charges. Come on, get in the weight room. Like, please.
That's a hot take. I like it. Because me personally, I'm going to just take the foul. I'm trying to block you. I'm not taking no charge. What? That's crazy.
Absolutely. Like, take out the charges, bro. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Okay. This is one of my favorite questions is, who is your celebrity lookalike if you feel like you have one or you've been told you look like somebody?
Girl, I don't look like nobody.
Oh, one of a kind. One of a kind. Great answer.
This might be like Moana. Like, come on now.
Boo. One of a kind.
I know, right? Like, geez, come on.
You're Te-Hina Paopao. I love it. Okay. Who would you pick as your teammate in like a 2-on-2 game? And it can't be one of your current South Carolina teammates.
Tell me, my first thought was Cam Brink.
Oh, okay. Boom. Picked.
I love Cam.
All right, I like it. It. That's a good one. Okay. What is your favorite pregame hype song?
Oh my god.
You've been doing so good.
I gotta go Sade. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. No Ordinary Love. Solid. Calm. Gets their heart rate down.
That's my type of stuff. That's my type of stuff right there. I like it. Okay, then our last question is, what's your best impersonation of Dawn?
I gotta get this. Rolled up paper here. Let's see. She always has this rolled up paper. She always got this. And then she goes like, you gotta get back out of this. Like this. And like, she'll just use this paper like every single time.
She loves a prop.
She loves a prop. I think another one was Fagin. She's gonna hate me for this, but
let's hear it.
She's always like, Fagin, what are you doing? Like, Fagin, what kind of shot is that? And it's just like, Fagan's gonna hate me for that, but it's
It's
always a good one.
okay.
We always laugh about that one, but it's just
I feel like
yeah.
every coach has a name that they just love to yell. So I feel bad that's Fagan, but every coach
Yeah.
has one. Oh, that's good. Okay, well, Te-Hina, thank you so much for coming on. This has been such a blast.
Yeah, I know. It's been so much fun. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk
Ah,
to you and just talk about everything, and you're killing it.
oh my
But
gosh, making
I
me
love
blush.
this. Yeah, no,
Ah,
you deserve the flowers that you give as well, so you should get some flowers back.
girl, the waterworks, stop
Oh
it.
my
But
gosh, girl, don't do that.
but thank you so much to you. Thank you so much to everybody for listening. We will be back next week with another episode of Sometimes I Hoop.